Okay, it's 4 o'clock. Shall we get started?
Yeah, recording in progress.
Okay, thank you, Lorraine. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining the session. We aim to be as punctual as we can get it. All right, so let me just start by sharing my screen. Sure, just happened. Let me change the setting and see whether it helps. I need to get used to looking at the right screen. Okay, sharing my screen. All right, hope all of you can see the screen. All right, thank you so much to the team that's put this together. All right, I just want to have a quick shout out to Ridwan, who helped put together this slide in record time. Right, Vic with lots of great ideas, and even Amar, based out of Bangalore, has contributed to the overall initiative that we've been driving on AI. And myself, Noel, welcome. Right. In the past, we have always done a lot of our train the trainer, as we call it, the TTT sessions in the evenings, right? What we call the Netflix hour, right? 8:30 to 9:30. But this time around, we felt that we wanted to do it during a normal working hour for a couple of reasons. One is we want to return the Netflix hour back to you so that you can have some recreation and make it more, if you want, around the work hour period, so that those who feel that they cannot sacrifice their recreation time, they can at least join us for this particular hour, right? In the context of a lot of our sharing, we always believe that there is no such thing as a stupid question. So feel free to ask any questions. I know sometimes we feel bad because we feel that the question is too basic, right? But we all start from a very basic beginning, right? So wherever you are, please don't hesitate. Drop it into the chat window if you don't want to unmute yourself and say something. We're good with that as well. Okay. Now, before we go further, all right, we actually have a short poll that we need your help with. It's just 3 simple questions, right? And with these questions, we will be able to get a better understanding of where you are in terms of your knowledge with AI. It's okay if you don't know anything, all right, with AI at all right? In fact, I briefed the team just before this session, telling them that we do have people who's got literally zero understanding of AI, and that's actually the audience that we are looking forward to reach out to, right? Ridwan, you want to help me with the link?
Yep,
Bring
posted.
the link up for them to go through.
I posted in the chat. You
Okay,
can.
wonderful. Yeah. If you can open up the chat window is basically that speech bubble icon, all right, that you might see, all right. That chat button allows you to go into the chat screen, right? In fact, that's the team chat. In fact, there is also a Copilot in the team chat that Microsoft is updating. So if you click on the link that Ridwan has posted into the chat, right? Help us answer the simple 3 questions that is in there, right? The poll looks something like this, right? Okay. 3 very simple questions. Question 1, have you used ChatGPT? Question number 2, have you used Copilot? Question number 3, do you believe AI will have a significant impact on employment in future? Okay, right. You don't need to put anything for question 4, all right, because we haven't gone through the session, so it's not relevant for now. Just click, then after that submit, right? But you might need to put something. Looks like question 4 is something that insists on an answer. You can just put no for question 4 for now, okay, and then just submit. So if you've never used ChatGPT, just say no. Okay. If you've never used Copilot and this is the first time you're hearing the name, no. Question number 3, you may have been hearing a lot about AI and potentially people are going to lose their jobs or whatever it is. Then you can say, yes, strongly agree. There's going to be significant impact. Or maybe you don't believe those rumors, so you can disagree or strongly disagree. That's entirely up to you. Okay. Thank you so much for those of you who have quickly filled in the survey, right, the poll. So in this session, primarily it'll be Ridwan and I that's going to take you through most of the entire hour, right? Now, the approach that we often take in these TTT sessions is what we call the 5W1H. The why, the what, the who, the when, the where, and the how. How do we do it? Right? Obviously, after covering all the 5 Ws and we don't land with how to do it, right? It's not probably exciting enough, at least in my shoes, right? In my thoughts, right? In the world that I work with, I like to get very hands-on. So, but that said, you know, the world today has been inundated with a lot of problems, right? Many of us are still reeling from the effect of the pandemic, right? I still see people masking even before they eat their meals and so forth, like last night, right? And we keep hearing about the virus spreading again, you know, there's pockets of infection here and there and so forth. And of course, on the other side of infection, if you want, the virus from the internet, right? The scams, the attacks, the cyber attacks and all that has become increasingly fiercer and more intense. We hear of people getting scammed, losing money, their systems being locked by ransomware and so forth. And some of these terms may be new to you, but it's okay. Don't freak out if you're hearing words that you're not familiar with and so on. If you want a definition, later, once you start to learn how to use Copilot, you will be able to use Copilot to help you demystify and even explain some of these things to you, because that's the power of AI, your personal assistant, if you want to help you through all that. But not to mention, there's also other areas, calamities, wars that continue to affect different parts of the world. And of course, on the bottom left, you see all these with the X. The red X is actually denoting technologies from Microsoft that's gone what we call end of support. That means no more security updates, no more patches, which also means that there will be an increased attack. Technology will continue to be attacked by people, right? And these people are hackers. Now, that said, many organizations today, even you and I at the personal level, we are generating more data than ever. Everywhere we go, we take pictures. We have dinner, we take pictures. All these pictures form part of this big aspect of data. So it's not surprising that The Economist, even as far back as May 2017, came out with this very interesting statement. The world's most valuable resource is no longer oil, but data. Now, from AI perspective, data is like the fuel. If you can understand oil being the fuel for our machinery, our cars, and even generating electricity and so forth, data is the fuel for AI. Without data, AI is actually crippled. But with so much data today, it's not surprising AI is going out of control, right? In some aspects, but we want to show you how to take back some control. So if you are a newbie, someone very new to AI, this is the session for you. So we will cover what is Copilot, all right? We also cover who can benefit from Copilot, right? In the sharing, we'd love to hear from you whether in this session towards the end that you have benefited, you have learned how to use it, you've seen how simple to get started. And of course, it's important to know that AI can be fun. So Copilot can be fun and useful. We show you how you can use it with graphics. We can show you how to create images and so forth. And most importantly, how do you get started, right? So those aspects are what is essential, right, in this particular session. So hopefully we'll get all the ticks by the hour, right? So what is Copilot? Now, if there's a simple way to explain it, right? Think of it as it's Google search, and many of us have used Google to search for information. And sometimes even when we want to go from A to B, let's say in recent days, we have the Chinese New Year festivity, we are visiting people, we key in the address into Google and then Google Maps pop up, or we open up Waze, we key in the address, and all these aspects of search, if you want, Copilot is a search with AI, right? AI being the personal assistant to the technology. So just imagine you have a personal assistant, and the personal assistant is a technology called AI. So it's highly empowered, if you want, to use capabilities, knowledge, and information from the internet to power your search, if you want. In the simplest sense, that is what Copilot is. Now, the other aspect of Copilot, if you want, is some of you may have used ChatGPT, right? And later, Ridwan will show you and do a side-by-side comparison between ChatGPT and Copilot. So ChatGPT, if you want, is AI that was created by a company called OpenAI. So OpenAI released this tool back in November 2022, right? And within a few months later, Microsoft came up with its equivalent, all right? And accelerating forward better than ChatGPT is when it was released, all right? With GPT 4.0, as well as even the graphic engine DALL-E 3. So Copilot has the benefit of what ChatGPT has and more. So it's Copilot is ChatGPT plus, if you want, from that perspective. Okay. So who can benefit? Lots and lots of people. You, me, everyone, literally. Now, that said, it's not a boast, all right? It's actually, if anything, an invitation. All right, an invitation to you to learn to use a tool. Now, we're just talking to a good friend who is the head of radiology, all right, in one of the famous hospitals in Klang Valley. And interestingly enough, even in the field of radiology, AI is starting to become increasingly important. Today, in many professions, if you do not use AI, you'll be at a disadvantage, truly. So who can benefit from Copilot if you want? Anyone who needs to move forward and be competitive against someone who doesn't. Since AI is still at its early days, if you want, the fact that here you have an advantage, you truly have an advantage to be ahead of the curve, as we call it. Right? So who can benefit? Everyone can benefit, right? In fact, I'm hoping that even as we come to the top of the hour with the recording, we will be able to furnish you with the recording. You can share it widely, right? And we will also upload that to our YouTube channel so that you can see the latest, as well as all the other recordings that we have had from last year. Now, some people may not agree with me, and even from the tone of my voice, you may come to think that OpenAI, the company that came up with ChatGPT, is a competitor to Microsoft, right? Microsoft has Copilot, OpenAI has ChatGPT, and Copilot is built on top of ChatGPT, and I actually even say it's ChatGPT plus. So does that mean they are competitors? Actually, if you dig deeper below the surface, you soon realize that both organizations are deep partners, right? That work collaboratively down to the R&D level to come up with new AI capabilities and innovation. So the opportunity that this organization have discovered working very closely has been amazing. So this partnership didn't start in recent years. It goes back as early as 2016, if you want, but in actual fact, it probably goes even earlier than that. And of course, early last year, Microsoft released something called Azure OpenAI Service. Right? This is literally OpenAI's capability mounted into Microsoft public cloud, if you want. So that's what Azure is. Azure is Microsoft public cloud. Now, those of you who are new to terms like public cloud and all that, it's not the cloud that you see floating across the sky. Huh? This cloud that we are talking about is basically hundreds and thousands of computers located in a physical location. They call it a data center. So Microsoft has data centers around the world, thousands of them. The nearest one to us actually happens to be in Cyberjaya, and is supposedly to be opening very soon or has already opened. But for a very long time, we have been using the one in Singapore. Right? Good news is, with our own Azure data center in Cyberjaya, we now will be able to leverage a lot of this AI technology. Even though Microsoft and OpenAI announced close partnerships, accelerating breakthroughs even back in July 2019, and a year later, right, Microsoft releases OpenAI tools, licensing them for GPT-3, that the list goes on and on to show how closely they work together. So truly, OpenAI and Microsoft are not competitors, right? I need to establish this very early on so that we know how we work with both tools. And of course, when you see this, right, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella showing up by surprise in OpenAI's developer conference is a true testimony, if you want, of how well they work together. Maybe a surprise to the audience, but I'm sure for the organizers, in this case, OpenAI, would not have been a surprise. So when Satya Nadella says, our job, number one, is to build the best system so that you, in this case, OpenAI, can build the best models, the AI models. And then together, they make this available to developers. So that's where Microsoft came up with the Copilot for GitHub, right? Their development, software development hub and center, if you want, very early on. In fact, it was probably one of the first Copilots that was made available. Now, some of you who are familiar with ChatGPT, you have realized that ChatGPT, they call it the generative AI technology, achieved an incredible milestone of 100 million users touching it and using it within a short time of 3 months. There's been never a technology in the past that come this close. In fact, if you look at this table, the closest was Facebook, and that was 4.5 years. So to compress that all down to 3 months, it was like a viral, right, capability. So AI has landed like a virus, if you want, right? But hopefully, through this session and more sessions moving forward, you'll be able to pull that all into your arsenal of tools to move forward and be good at. So we believe AI is here to stay and it's going to be pervasive, it's everywhere. So DALL-E 3 is something that OpenAI came up with, and it's a graphic engine. Remember, this is the graphic engine. So this graphic engine is available in Bing Chat, and later Ridwan will show you demos on the Bing Chat, right? So that you can create pictures, right? And some of these pictures are so amazingly real, all right? And of course, Microsoft also has a vision, and their vision obviously is to bring Copilot to everyone. So it's not a boast that they are making it and then they are what we call democratizing it to the lowest level. So in the same spirit, we are driving these TTT sessions in the simplest way possible to help you understand it. So same time last year or just over a year ago, Microsoft released Copilot. Okay, so this the speed of acceleration in terms of release of technology. Not limited to that, Microsoft also felt that it was important to touch the area of music, right? So they acquired a company called Suno, and Suno brings capabilities, if you want, to create songs and musical backgrounds and so forth using, right, the AI technology that Microsoft brings to fore. All right, so these are the areas that we want to bring to you this session and beyond. So I'm going to invite Ridwan. All right, Ridwan, you there? You want to take us through the Copilot system?
Sure. All right.
Feel free to take
Okay.
over the screen.
Yes, I can do that. Let me just share my screen. Okay, can you guys see?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, my name is Ridwan. So I will just go through the Copilot system, and hopefully I can show a lot of exciting demos. So the Copilot system, rightly said by Noel, belongs to Microsoft. So Microsoft started AI journey with the product called Bing Chat. So if you heard of Google, Microsoft has their own search engine called Bing, and then the AI feature they call it Bing Chat. After that, about a year ago, they improved, and end of last year, they renamed it to Copilot system. So if you learn about Copilot system, you can actually know that there are 5 places we can use Copilot. First, from the Bing chat, so you can actually access from the browser. You can use any browser. You just type bing.com/chat. And second, you can use from Edge browser. I will demo later on. Thirdly, you can use from your mobile and Windows, and finally from copilot.microsoft.com. So let me show you from my browser right now. So let me just open my browser. So I have it here. Okay, I can just type it here. Let's say I just type bing.com/chat. And then, yeah, it will open you similar like a chat GPT. If you ever used a chat GPT before, you can use Bing Copilot right away from the same URL. And this is what is the difference if you are using chat GPT. So chat GPT, you can just, and you open chat GPT, so you will have similar window. So you have a place to type the message. And then compared to Copilot, it's much more interactive. They will give you some tips how to type and things that you can do. For example, more creative, more balanced, and more precise. So let's try. Maybe let's try. Let me just this. Okay, maybe let's try one demo here. Maybe I will write about write a story about cool, right? So let me just make it bigger, and it's too small, right? Similar here. So you can, yep. So both are using AI technology. So, but the differences you can see from the response here. They have their own way in giving you answers. And the best thing is free. Yeah, the Copilot is free as well, similar to ChatGPT. So you can see, right, there's some tune to the response. You see, what's up, Bella? I don't want to go to school after all. So the responses are a bit different from what that you can see from ChatGPT, which are more like a computer response compared to the Copilot here. So you can use for anything, even you can generate images, but you cannot do with ChatGPT. Let's say this create image of the CC situation flag, right? If I let me generate for you, so I copy similar prompt and try to do it here with ChatGPT. So yeah, the response from ChatGPT mentioned that it cannot generate. So similarly, you can use Copilot even from the browser. If you have the Edge browser, you can see from here there's an icon that you can actually turn on the Copilot right away from the browser. It's only available with Microsoft Edge. If you're using Chrome and Firefox, you don't have this feature. you need to go to the website, the similar website that I've just shared. So let it generate. Oh, sorry. So here. Let me try to generate again. Okay, while waiting, right? Let me show one of the features that available with the Microsoft Edge browser. So let me just open a new tab here. So you can see there's an icon, Copilot icon. You can just turn it on, and then you can do many things here. You can see there's a chat. You have a compose. Here you will even have an insight. Insight is based on news, but for example, I want to show you about compose, right? You can, for example, create an news about drone. Let's say about drone, right? Create latest news about drone, and then you can choose a tone. You want to be a professional, casual, and then where do you want to use the generated text? Let's say it's email or paragraph or blog post, right? Let's say it's email, and you can make it short and generate a draft, and then it will generate for you. Okay, see here, right? Okay, it created the email, and you can send this email to anyone. You can change the tone, right? You can make it casual, you can make it funny. Yep. So yeah, this one of the features of Copilot from the Edge browser. Another great thing about having the Copilot in the browser, right? You can summarize text from the PDF. For example, right? So sorry, yeah, the images already generated while we were here. So the images already generated. So you can use Copilot to do this, but you cannot do that with ChatGPT. Right? Okay, coming back to the demo, the Microsoft Edge demo, right? So I have here a rental agreement, right? It's a PDF document. The PDF document. Yeah.
Ridwan, before you jump into more, now to be fair, right, the OpenAI's tool ChatGPT was only meant to be a chatbot, correct?
Correct.
So
Yeah.
the chatbot, it wasn't designed to do graphics. So basically what you're saying is Copilot has merged the ability to do graphics and chat into a single tool, correct?
Yep.
Is it not true that OpenAI also has a tool for graphics?
They have they available with the GPT-4, and also Delhi. You can do that.
Yes,
Yeah.
but that is a paid service, correct?
Yes. Yep. That's true.
Okay, so what you're saying is if you're willing to pay 20 US per month, right, to OpenAI, you can actually get a separate tool, right, for graphics, right, powered by Delhi. And then you still have your ChatGPT, but then now ChatGPT has GPT version 4, correct?
That is, yep, correct. That is correct, Noel. Yep.
So with Copilot, you don't have to pay anything, and you have GPT-4 and you have Delhi 3, and you have the ability to do both with a single user interface.
That is true. Yep.
Okay. I hope that's clear for those people who are seeing the tools for the first time, because sometimes if we don't position it correctly, we don't explain it correctly, it makes it look like, oh, ChatGPT is a lousy tool, right? The Copilot is the best tool since sliced bread. We need to understand from the author, from the company that created the tool, what is the intent of the tool. So to be fair, ChatGPT was always intended to be a chatbot. right? A chat tool meant to work with text, right? Text input, not graphics, all right? So that's a key understanding that we need to have. But to be fair, also OpenAI gives you an option to have graphics, right? But you need to pay for that subscription, right? If you don't want to pay, then Copilot is a very good alternative because it combines the graphics and the text together into one tool. Yeah.
Thank you, Noel. Thank you.
Welcome.
So coming back to demo, right? So I was talking about the Microsoft Edge feature, AI feature, right? So, for example, you have a rental agreement or any agreement, any document in a PDF format, right? A PDF format, and you can open it using the Edge browser, and then you can actually ask the Copilot to summarize the content of the document. So, for example, here I have one document here, and then I just open the Copilot feature in the Edge browser, right, at the right top right here. After that, let me maybe zoom it, okay. And then you can type it. You can ask Copilot to actually look into the document, or you can just click any prompt that available. So for example, I click generate document summary here or generate key insight from this document. And then it generated for me, right? Here the summary of the document. So what are the information, the important information that you can look through rather than going through the documents, right, one by one. So these tools are really, making you easier to go through and faster, right, compared to read one by one and pages and understanding it. So these are available free. You can try to use it and learn it. There's nothing wrong, right? You even can ask more questions. For example, here I generated some content summary, and it prompts you some of the question that you can ask more about the document, and it can look up in the internet as well for you. So that is Copilot from the Bing chat from the Edge, and now we can access the Copilot from mobile as well. I believe most of our users have a mobile phone, so it also available free. You can download it from Play Store and App Store. So you can have a similar feature with the Copilot that I've just shown, right? You can ask anything, you can generate images, and then you can write content. One of the great thing is, right, you can actually send the images to the Copilot and ask the AI to identify for you. So for example, here from the first, right? So I have some demo video that I can show, right? This Copilot was running in Android. So I'm not sure you can hear the sound, but let me just try if you can hear the sound. But it's okay, never mind. There's a text inside the video. So right now it's available. You can just go to the App Store or Play Store, download the Copilot. You can open. After that, you can ask the Copilot to write content for you, email or anything, right? For example, from the demo video, you can see. And then next, you can even ask the Copilot to generate images for you, right?
Alcohol is not good for the cat. It's not good for us either. So we probably die.
Rizwan, can I ask
Yeah.
you something? You see,
Yeah.
some of us, our English is not that good, So let's say if I put in, right, do I need to write very good sentence inside there for it to act on it?
No. Later on, I will show you the prompt, right? we call it prompt. Different prompt, right, will return you different result. But as a normal user, you can actually try and get most of the content, the things that you want. So it's like a art. You will need to master it. But as a normal user, you should not have any problem using it.
I see. So, and language-wise, is okay lah. I mean, I'm Chinese educated, so if I put in not perfect English, is also okay lah, is it?
Yeah, that's the good thing. Yeah, you can actually try, and you'll be surprised it can actually detect you, right? Even you have a spelling mistake, it can actually understand you very well.
Ah, that's good. That's good. Thanks.
It essentially is not going to discriminate against you, Lorraine. It's not going to say terrible English. How can you speak like that? You know, so essentially you're dealing with technology, right? Technology won't discriminate you, and the technology, like Vic tells me, doesn't get tired of you, right? It's perpetually patient. You can make as many mistakes as you want.
Because sometimes we dare not try because sometimes, you know, language is not very good. So it actually stop us, you know, from
Yeah.
trying further. Yeah.
Understand? You don't need to get embarrassed in front of technology.
Can I say something here?
Absolutely.
Yep,
Hi,
yes.
in referring to Ray's question about must the document be open in Edge browser? Let me explain a bit, and the simple answer is depends on what Copilot you use. Let me bring it a simpler term. Copilot is equivalent to AI in this sense. Copilot is a brand from Microsoft, but basically it's AI. Yeah, but the best part of this is how Microsoft embedded and powered the entire Microsoft product ecosystem to make it powerful. So Copilot is plugged into different areas. What you have just seen just now is just a portion of what Rizwan has shown. The Copilot was embedded into Bing Chat and inside the Bing search engine. So whereby you can utilize or access AI for free from the Bing search engine. So that's how you can use one way. The other way is actually you can use AI Copilot through Edge browser, Microsoft own browser. So it's on the sidebar. So as you can see on the screen now. So that's how you use it. But as for your question, when you want to do a document, if it's a PDF, you can open with Edge, then you can utilize the AI within Edge browser, the Copilot within Edge browser to summarize the document and so on with a sidebar. It's best to use that. So, but let's say you wanted to do a summary or do some work with AI with a Microsoft Word document. That will be another day, as Noel mentioned, we'll share more later. That will be Copilot for Microsoft 365. Microsoft had also embedded, I'm sure you have heard some news announcement about the licensing and so on for new technology which increase your productivity. It's called Copilot for Microsoft 365. So that is another area which we will have time to share in the following sessions. Yeah, I hope that answer you. Great.
Yes, thanks.
Fantastic. Thanks, Vic.
Thank you, Vic.
Welcome.
So let me just finish this demo, right? So one of the last thing, right? You can actually ask the Copilot to identify things, right? For example, here, and you can see from okay, in the almost, right? Let me just, yeah, it will analyze the images and it will give you the answer to you. So have a try. It's available freely for you to try. Just download and test drive the Copilot from your mobile. So I believe this is most of the demo that I wanted to show. I believe I covered all. I've covered the image creator. I have covered the designer. Maybe we'll do it later. We will have another session. And the things I want to show, right, is how you can become good in prompting, means talking to the AI. So let me just jump into, right? So this is one of the things that we did comparison. This is actually done by week, right? So how to get a great result from the AI, from the conversation that you are having with AI, right? So one of the tips that we want to share is try to be specific and details in full sentence with instruction and state the tones and purpose and preferred format, right? And less effective that we notice, right? You trying to be too general and just few words, right? You didn't explain clearly and no context. What you want to achieve from the documents or any prompt that you give to the AI. So I have created a demo, right? You can see the differences here. So these are Copilot, the latest Copilot. At the left here, you can see the effective way of prompting, means talking to the AI, and the right side is less effective. You can see here, right, at the bottom here, recap the findings of the article I've compiled below and include the 3 top concern. Please provide the answer in 2 or 3 paragraphs and use a business tone, right? So these are the links. And compared to the right side, I just right there recap article and give the link, right? So we can see what are the results here. So if you can just, yep, then submit. And you can see the result here from the left side. It's already starting with the introduction of the articles, right? The link. And then straight away it will highlight the 3 top concern inside the article, right? So compared to the right side, it is like too general. It will give you introduction. It will tell you what is inside the article, right? What are the solutions available inside the article. Compared to the left side, it will put it in clear manner based on the prompt, based on the question that you ask AI. So prompting is one of the skill that you shall master if you always use the AI, right? You can see if even different AI technology compared to ChatGPT and Copilot will give you different results. So it's up to you how you want to use the result. So that's all from me, Noel. I believe I hope everyone
Awesome.
get good
Awesome.
knowledge today. Yeah. Thank you.
That's great. That's great. Thank you for the demos. All right, let's jump back into the slides and see what we can share a little bit more. Okay. Now, one of the key aspects that we wanted to make the TTT interesting, all right, is to make sure that we show the technology in action, right, quickly, all right, rather than leaving it to the end and so forth. So hopefully you enjoyed the demo, right? Both Vic and Ridwan spent a lot of time over the last few months playing with it, right? Their familiarity hopefully showed through the demos, right? Now, there are a few other important things that I think we need to be able to understand from a technology perspective. Let me just share my screen. Again, many of these content were all created by both of them. Okay, so Copilot, the search, if you want, the goal is to use AI to help you get answers, not just links. And that's very, very apparent, as you have seen. Because when some of us are so used to a tool like Google, many a time we just get back lots and lots of links, but it doesn't necessarily, it helps us get to the root of what we want. We still have to do a lot of, how to say, heavy duty lifting, going through every link to see which one. And I'm sure some of you probably realize that in the world of Google, advertising is very, very powerful. So if you advertise, the chances of your information get found in the top one page is what they pay for, correct? So therefore, you as a user to the system are not benefiting from the fact that some people are paying money to get their link appearing right up the top. What you want is to be able to do work. So the way Copilot helps you is instead of giving you back all these links, all right, it's giving you summaries, you can get it to analyze, give you tables of information aligned in a certain way and so forth. So those of you who have used ChatGPT, you have realized that that's the power of what AI brings to the table. So Copilot does the same thing for you, okay? So it's not designed to just return all these non-useful links, especially those from advertisements and so forth. We want to be able to chat with it in a conversational manner, just like how Ridwan showed you, okay? At the same time, you want to be able to work with images concurrently where relevant together with text. So simply put, if you want, the new world of chatting with AI, all right, is one where it gives you custom answers to your question, to your needs. And that is essentially the most powerful way you can work with. So what is Copilot? If you want, if I were to run through, is these 4 pillars, if you want, powerful AI models. As mentioned earlier, ChatGPT uses GPT 3.5 for the free version. To get GPT 4, you need to pay, and it's 20 US per month. Okay, that also gives you DALL-E 3. So Copilot gives you both GPT-4 and DALL-E 3 for images. So it gives you the access to the most advanced AI models, as they call it. So for those of us who don't understand what is AI models, don't worry about it. What is more important is you can do what you want with a free tool. And the tool is available in a browser, right? We recommend you using the Microsoft Edge browser as how Ridwan has shown you. You can use the browser from your phone as well, whether using an Android phone or using an iPhone, right? And one of the best part about it, which I'm not sure was highlighted, is it cites sources of information. So it has references for you, right, Ridwan? You notice the things you were searching, all right?
Yep, yes.
It gave you a whole bunch of references. Now, one of the biggest concern with AI, for those of you who are new to AI, there's this term called hallucination. AI hallucinates in what sense? It makes up information. It artificially creates information. And that's one of the fears of people. In fact, last year, there were numerous occasions where ChatGPT, among other AI tools, were hallucinating, creating information from nothing. So one of the ways Microsoft tries to cut that off, if you want, right, is to cite where those information comes from. Because it doesn't necessarily mean that that's 100% accurate, because the reference could also reference a location where the information could be fake news, if you want. So you still need to go deeper if you want to cite the most accurate of information. But the fact that you get references to start with, right, you have somewhere to go looking for more answers rather than you having to use your own devices to go and find out where they are. Where did this come from? Where did that come from? Especially if you're short of time, right? And I believe one of the powerful thing is the speed of how you can get the answers. You notice the comparison that Ridwan showed you just now between the prompt, right, the way you communicate with AI, using a more specific prompt with more details and all so forth, with the right context, the response was actually faster than the one without, right? It's no surprise, actually. And why is that the case, you might be wondering? Because it's full of knowledge. And the fact that it's full of knowledge, and the more precise you, in terms of what you want, right, it is able to retrieve it more speedily, if you want, versus then he has to decide, I think I will give you the average kind of answer, all right, or I give you in this way or that way. So not allowing the AI to decide, if you want, because you are more specific, helps you get more accurate answers faster from that perspective. So some of these things require you to play with it. So don't give up if the first prompt was just too vague, all right, and it's taking long time or it's timing out. You just need to be more specific. Okay, don't give up on the tool, right? It's like teaching your 3-year-old to say a word. You don't say, time's up, you said it 3 times and you said it wrong, I'm walking away now. Give them more time, they'll get there, okay? So it's speedy when you give it the right kind of questions or right kind of request, okay? So the good thing, as it says, answers are not limited by the date of the AI model, because Copilot uses, if you want, the internet from that perspective, right? The large language model is not limited to what is kept, right? So that's that GPT-4. Now they're going to GPT Turbo and all those other new versions of large language models and so forth. So don't worry about those things, but more importantly, all right, you can be assured that any information that it can find, it will find for you. Okay, so it's not time capped from that perspective. The other aspect that is differentiated with Copilot, with ChatGPT, is what we call data protection. So if you log on to Copilot with a company address rather than a personal Hotmail, Gmail address and so forth, right? You can actually get Copilot into a mode called data protection mode if you want. So one of the key differentiator is it doesn't save any of the prompts and the answers and so forth, all right? So that there is no way for it to retrieve past information and revealing any personal identifier type information that then potentially could be leaked out and so on. So these elements differentiate, all right, Copilot, giving you a very powerful and yet a protective tool. So that's where we go into these 5 different areas that Ridwan showed you, okay? So the Bing Chat Enterprise was the previous name. The rebranded name is what we know today is called Copilot. Copilot with data protection. Okay. So as he rightly pointed out, business data is protected. Chat data is not saved. Data is not used to train the models. So these elements give users, give customers of Microsoft who are using this technology the assurance that their data is safe. Okay. There is an architecture which we've not covered today, all right, to give you an understanding, right, of this part of security, data compliance, and so forth. A quick comparison, if you choose to use Copilot with Edge browser from Microsoft versus the Google Chrome, okay? Now, you may say Microsoft is very biased. It gives it all these extra things with Microsoft Edge, right? Well, yes and no. Yes, they have the right to do it more for their own browser, but more importantly, is left pocket talking to right pocket or left hand talking to right hand. They can come together anytime to collaborate. But if Microsoft goes to Google, which is a competitor, and says, I want to do all these things to the Chrome browser, I need you to expose all these APIs and so forth to me so that I can do all these extra things, there may be a time that Google may need to think through to decide whether they want to do it or they don't want to do it. So if we talk about the ability to do everything equally at the same time, not realistic, not possible. But there may come a time where the Google Chrome browser may catch up. And why this is important is because Google Chrome browser is a very popular browser. Okay, to be fair, all right, I believe there are more users using Chrome than Edge. But the fact is, Edge has the added advantage of using Copilot. We believe that there will be a shift. People who need the Power AI together with a browser, as what Ridwan has shown you, will probably end up using Edge, and over time there will be more people using Edge from that perspective. Okay, so that's the key difference between the 2 different major browsers out there. Okay, now Ridwan talked about image creator, right? Very interesting tool. I urge you to go and play with it. Okay, in terms of time, we don't have enough time to show you, but this is essentially the Microsoft free tool for you, available through Bing, all right, that taps onto the graphic large language model engine from OpenAI called DALL-E 3. Okay, and that's something that with ChatGPT and so forth from OpenAI, you have to go into the paid version to get that. Okay. Of course, the designer. I love this designer too, by the way. And one of the key reasons why I like it is actually the way it's asking you to prompt. But more importantly, many of us are still very, very new with prompting. talking to AI at what Ridwan says. And that's the perfect way to describe the situation. If you can't talk to AI correctly, AI ain't particularly good. And it's not going to be responding what you want. And you will get frustrated and walk away. So in order to reduce that situation, Microsoft came up with this very nice user interface. It gives you nice drop downs. So like rainy, right? Pacific Northwest, coding on my Surface laptop. These are things that you can key in to create that interesting prompt so that it can use that prompt, generate the information that you want, okay? And this was actually something that Satya Nadella was doing during the holidays that he was having. Okay, so this is a powerful tool. I urge you to go check it out, right? And I assure you, I truly assure you that you will be very excited. Okay, and this is something that I believe either Ridwan or Vic actually came up with when he was working with, all right? So Malaysian flag with a Petronas background. So exactly like the demo that I showed earlier, okay? So you check it out, okay, please. Any questions? Love to have you come through, drop it into the chat window, or even circle back and reach out to us when you get a chance, okay? I really like the interface, especially when you're using it from the phone. Okay, by the way, these clips came from my phone, all right, from the phone bit, all right, the intuitive way of prompting, filling in the blanks. And some of us, when we went through school, we did have how we write simple essays with filling in the blanks, right? So essentially, we are going back to that, but from the perspective of talking to AI, if you want, okay? And through that prompt, it gets that very interesting picture. Okay. All right, any questions? We're 3 minutes to the hour. Why not we just open the rest of the time to Q&A? Vic has got his hands up. No, I thought someone had his hands up.
Not me, not me.
Okay. So, no questions. Who feels good about trying? Anyone excited to try? I'm always excited to try. Just that for me, my biggest challenge is time. Okay, so those of you who are interested to try, okay, just remember this particular link, web link, okay? Bing.com/chat takes you there, okay? And if you open up the Edge browser, it's on the top right corner, all right? So all of those little areas where you see the Copilot icon, right? Interesting, even as I've seen some pictures that Vic shared over the last few months, how the Copilot icon went from something quite plain and dull to a very colorful, like a rainbow colored, all right? So bing.com/chat, all right? Use your phone. If you tell me, hey, I've got no time for computers, in fact, my computer is so outdated, I don't think it will work. Not a concern. As what Ridwan shared, you can do it from your Android phone. You can do it from your iPhone. Okay. Now, that's it. Depending on how old your phone is, right? So if your phone is like iPhone 6, sorry, all right, it can't go that far back, right? iPhone 7 also, I think, is out. What was the earliest, the one that we can work with, Vic? Do you know?
I remember it's 7.
7,
Let me double.
yeah, no promises. If you're on iPhone 7, it may work, but actually it's based on the iOS version. Okay, so Apple has kept the iOS version, all right, the operating system version. Okay, of course, the latest version is 17, all right, iOS version 17. You got 17.2.1. That's on my phone. But I remember when I had the iPhone 6, let me just open up, see whether my iPhone 6 is working. Yep, okay, it is. Right.
So
For those of you who are on iPhone 6.
Noel, just to add,
Yes.
for the Copilot app to be installed in iPhone, you need to be running at least iOS 15.
16.
15.
15.
1.5. Sure not.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Really? That means my iPhone 6 can also work. Okay, I'll try it. I knew I kept it for a reason. It still works. Okay, very good. Thank you. 15, huh? Because the what do you call the iPhone 6 that I have, right? Actually has 15.8. So very good. I can try it. Because I remember trying it a long time ago, it didn't work. Okay. So anyone else have questions? Anything that you want to ask? Don't be shy. If there are no questions, it's 5:01 on my clock. So thank you so much for making time. I hope all of you learned something, right? Very importantly, you try it, all right? Don't just come to the session, listen, and then go away. Go to your phone, go to your computer, give it a shot. And if you have questions, circle back to us. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
See you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Noel.
Okay. God bless.
Bye.
Thank you, Noel. Bye.
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 Thank you, Noel.